These three signs would determine whether you're an entrepreneur or not. And if you pay attention to this video, you're going to see for yourself whether you possess what it takes to actually become an entrepreneur. And if you see any of these signs in your personal life, then they are very strong pointers to the fact that you are actually an entrepreneur. And these are things that I wanted to take very key note of, because as you see them manifesting in your life, each of them or any of them or all of them, then that is a likely pointer that you are actually an entrepreneur, and it's in your best interest to seize the opportunity and go all in on being an entrepreneur. So the first one we'll look at right now, you are able to spot opportunities where others see challenges. And now this is very important, because entrepreneurs are people who are known to have the eagle eye, and people who are known to be very direct in terms of getting opportunities where people see challenges. They are people who have the eagle eye to spot treasures where others see trash. The reason why an entrepreneur is different is because the way he sees things are different from an average person. But entrepreneurs are people who are skilled in the art of identifying opportunities, and these opportunities may not be visible to the average person, but if you see yourself every now and then able to determine that there are opportunities hidden in certain challenges or in certain problems or in certain things that people may not ordinarily want to affiliate themselves with because it looks challenging, difficult, tough, or it looks like a very despicable situation. If you're able to still see an opportunity to be in that situation, to make it more colorful, more amazing, then signs are that you are an entrepreneur. There are two gentlemen that the legend story tells us who went to a far country, and when they went there, they discovered that these people in that country were not wearing shoes. They were all barefooted. And in the light of that story, one of the gentlemen that went for that trip, there were actually two gentlemen. One of them was lamenting about the poor state of these individuals who were just, the citizens of this country, but they're not wearing shoes. They were just walking barefooted. And the country where he comes from, of course, they wear footwears. And in the light of that, he just lamented and bemoaned the situation, and was very, empathetic with the people, knowing that these people are passing through a lot by not having shoes on. However, as he was lamenting, his other friend was seeing an opportunity. In other words, as his friend was talking about the sorry state of the people who were there because they did not have shoes, he was thinking about how he can leverage the opportunity and begin to import shoes to this country and also develop a business around it. And this is why becoming an entrepreneur is a very strategic thing to do, because you are able to spot opportunities. And this young man went back to his country, and as the story has it, he went and started thinking about how to solve the footwear problem of those people in that place where he visited. And so he came to his country and then met the people who produce shoes and was able to get the shoes across to the people in that country, and that was how he developed a footwear business in that nation that made him multi-millions. All right, and so this just shows the tale of two gentlemen. One is seeing the problem, and the best that most people do at that level is to lament about the problem. The best that they do is just to say how despicable the situation is, and more often than not, they just stop there. They're not able to go further. And this is one thing that's very common amongst people, the ability to see a problem and just lament, because lamenting is easy for everyone to do, because that's the easy part, just talking about it and doing nothing. However, an entrepreneur is one who doesn't just see the problem, laments over it, but takes actionable steps in bringing about a remedy to that situation, and that in itself is an opportunity waiting to be tapped. So an entrepreneur would go in there, see that opportunity, and make the most out of it and create something beautiful out of that ugly situation. So if you see yourself spotting opportunities in different areas, in different problems, in different challenges, chances are that you are tilting towards the path of entrepreneurship. And this is something that I want you to take particular note of, as it's going to be very helpful for you in your entrepreneurial journey. So if you see this happen to you more often than not, take note of it, and signs are that you may just be on your path to entrepreneurship. The second sign I want you to take note of is the fact that you are obsessed with giving value above making profits. Now, this is very key because most people feel that becoming an entrepreneur simply means that you are all about profit. However, a real entrepreneur is not even about the profit. He's not obsessed about profit. He's actually obsessed about value. And now, what is value? Value is anything that is useful to the user. Value is anything that solves a problem for a particular set of people. Value is anything that brings about a solution to a pressing problem or brings about an answer to a pressing question. Now, if you're able to find yourself in this situation whereby you are actually solving people's problems, you're actually creating solutions to people's their needs, then in that sense you are creating value. And this is how the whole world of entrepreneurship is structured. It is built around the concept of giving value. So in a sense, if you see yourself obsessed about giving value to people over and above making profits, then actually that's the pointer that you're actually becoming or tilting towards becoming an entrepreneur. Because entrepreneurs in the sense are people who are value driven more than profit driven. Of course, there will be a reward for that value because the universe is structured in such a way that as long as you are giving value, nature in itself is mandated to reward you for that value. So that's why when people come and create value for other people, those people feel naturally obliged to reward them with that value, with cash or with money. So the whole system of business is built around solving problems, and by solving problems you create value, and when you create value, people now reward you or appreciate you for that value with their money. So your making money is an end product of value creation, which means that entrepreneurs are people who not only spot opportunities, but then they take it a step further by creating value, and that value now becomes the bedrock by which people now reward them or appreciate them with money. So money is the last thing in the heart of an entrepreneur. Value is the first thing. So if you see yourself in that light where you are actually obsessed about creating value, then chances are you are actually on the path of entrepreneurship, because this is exactly what the whole entrepreneurial ecosystem is built around. The more you give value, the more people will give you their money ethically. They'll be happy to give you their money. And this is why people who are not obeying this law, people who you would call, for example, so if someone steals something from another person, he's attracting the attention of the law enforcement agents because that person is contradicting the law. The law says give value and people will return that value with cash or with money. But when you go ahead and steal the money from another person, it simply means that you are violating the law, and that will attract the attention of law enforcement agents, because in that sense you are not giving value that should warrant people to also reciprocate that gesture. However, you're trying to not give value but yet still receive value from people. So that's not how it works. So an entrepreneur is one who understands the necessity of value creation over and above the mere desire for making profits. Alright, so if you see yourself obsessed with value, that's a pointer, that's an indication that you are actually on the path of entrepreneurship. Now, the last but not the least sign I want to take note of, and this is the very important one, is that have replaced passion and excitement with discipline. Now, this is something that is very key. If you meet the most successful entrepreneurs in the world and you have a one-on-one conversation with them and you ask them what their greatest secret is, among the things that you would find out that is a common denominator for all successful people is this word called discipline. And now discipline is so important because it sets the pace for every lasting success. And the more you understand the need and the place of discipline on your path to success, the more you see yourself tilting towards discipline and not towards convenience. So a lot of people who actually believe that they want to become wealthy, or they want to become entrepreneurs, most of them are merely excited. and are merely passionate. However, the one who is truly an entrepreneur will replace that passion and excitement with discipline. In other words, discipline involves you doing what you have to do even when you don't feel like doing it. Discipline involves you doing that which is necessary over that which is convenient. And in a sense, most people have the desire to become listed on Forbes list of world billionaires because they love the luxury life that position portrays. However, only a few people are disciplined enough to do what it requires to get to that point. And entrepreneurs who have taken the world by storm and whose names have been written in the golden book of history are such persons who have understood that discipline is part of the journey, and so they've given themselves, they've built everything that they have towards discipline. So the people that they move around with, the friends that they keep, the books that they read, the activities that they engage in, the things that require their personal development activities, everything around these things are all markers of discipline, because naturally they will not want to do that, humanly speaking, but discipline compels them to do that which is necessary. I mean, nobody loves to stress himself. However, the path to becoming an entrepreneur requires high level discipline. And in that sense, anybody who is always tilting towards disciplining himself to achieve a greater cause, or disciplining himself to create a kind of value that would be such that would benefit the world where he has found himself, that person is one that is truly an entrepreneur. So an entrepreneur has these three things mentioned, these three signs are there. By the way, if you're getting value from this video, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and hit the bell icon and like this video for other amazing videos. So these are the very great signs that you should look out for. And if you see these things playing out in your personal life, then you are truly on your path to becoming a world-class entrepreneur, an outstanding entrepreneur, because all these things underscores the making of a global entrepreneur. So check out for these things, look at them in your life, which of them are you exhibiting, and by reason of explaining these three things, I also want to let you know that you can actually start building yourself along these things. You can also train yourself to start, looking at how to become more obsessed with value, how to become more obsessed with looking at opportunities, and how to become more disciplined. If you could pay the price to become these things that have been mentioned right here, certainly you will become the next big thing to happen in the entrepreneurial space. So until I see you in my next video, keep winning and keep succeeding.